Also tonight, back here at home, a jilted lover is now under arrest, accused of abducting and eventually killing his ex-girlfriend, all because he claims she gave him a deadly disease. Local 10's Janine Stanwood is live for us where the murder victim was abducted.
Lori, it was in this parking lot, actually, where that 23-year-old victim was abducted. And we have to warn you that what happened after that, the details leading up to her murder, are tough to hear. And the judge recounted them in court today.
Once you were out of the car, they asked you, what happened? Why is she bleeding? Allegedly, you replied, I shot the because she gave me HIV.
The judge reads Anton Josie the police report and lists the charges against him.
So you're charged with first-degree premeditated murder with a firearm on count 1.
The victim? An ex-girlfriend, Dominique Duval. And police say when she was leaving her job in Fort Lauderdale last night, Josie confronts her in the parking lot and forces her at gunpoint into the car.
That vehicle was traveling southbound on South 28th Avenue here in Hollywood at a high rate of speed.
Minutes later, the car gets pulled over here at this Shell station near South 28th Avenue and Pembroke Road. Duval reportedly stumbles out. According to police, the detective on scene asks why.
She apparently was unable to speak at that point due to her injuries.
Josie gets put into handcuffs. Police say they find a revolver near the gear shift. Duval is taken away. She was rushed to Memorial Regional Hospital, but police say along the way she was bleeding profusely in the neck. Paramedics were providing CPR, but she died before she even made it to the emergency room.
What we do know now, though, is that that same victim had been reported earlier into the City of Fort Lauderdale Police Department as a victim of an abduction case.
And now Josie is likely charged with both crimes. And Hollywood police and Fort Lauderdale police, they are working together on the charges. They include murder and possession of a firearm by a convicted felon. Lori, we asked both Fort Lauderdale and Hollywood police if there had been any domestic violence calls against this suspect, and they say no.
What a tragedy all the way around. All right, Janine Stanwood, live for us in Fort Lauderdale. Thank you.
Stabbed to death on the bedroom floor. She is HIV.
We put the bears, some of the candles.
A little show of respect in front of a now boarded up South Dallas apartment where Cicely Bolden lived with her 7- and 8-year-old children who found her body.
Kids came home around 3:30. They walked inside the house. They came out crying. I ran out to see what was wrong with them.
They were screaming that something was wrong with Mama. So neighbor Latoya Arnett went in and saw Bolden stabbed to death on the bedroom floor.
All I know is she didn't deserve it, and her kids didn't deserve to see her like that.
Arnett says she saw this man, 36-year-old Larry Dunn, arrive at Bolden's apartment Thursday afternoon. She didn't recognize him. Police say Dunn and Bolden recently started dating. He came over Thursday, the two had sex, then, he tells police, Bolden revealed she is HIV positive. The arrest warrant says Dunn was upset, went to the kitchen, got a knife, and stabbed Bolden to death. He said, quote, "She killed me, so I killed her."
This is the book of 1 Timothy, chapter 5, verse 6, and it reads this. But she that liveth in pleasure is dead while she liveth. Koholayim la, Abanawa, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Bahashem, Rekak Redash. Double honors to the elder apostles and elder bishops of Great Millstone who rule well. Salutations to the Akim out there on the highways and the byways. Salutations to the hopeful elect. Salutations to you speckled birds, you Israelite foreigners. And shalom to the Akwaf sitting and listening in silence as the scriptures say to do so. 1 Timothy chapter 5, verse 6, and it reads this. But she that liveth in pleasure is dead while she liveth. And this is another result of living in Babylon and having deep, deep love for this world, man. You know, this is one of the results of the freedom and the liberty that is given to these women and also to these remedial jakes that, you know, can't control their little man and not think with their actual heart, which is, you know, la'ab, your mind. Okay? Point blank period, man, because, you know, with all these sexual partners a woman has, you know, the different DNAs left up in her, you know, create bacteria, which also create STDs. And also, you know, this HIV, AIDS, which was created in the lab, named for minorities, so-called, when we're the majority, actually, was pushed to our people. Okay? So this is just another judgment that is taking you people out, man, that don't consider your ways, man, and don't consider to actually, this day and age to use protection, man. Because again, these women are given liberty to do what they want, to ride the cock carousel, to have multiple lovers, to play the field, don't commit to one man, don't be under subjection to one man, okay, to live their best life, man. And this is just one of the numerous judgments from Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai, man, okay? And, these videos were 10 years ago and one was 13 years ago. And this just shows you that how, the evilness of a woman is, has no cut cards, no boundaries, no anything, man. Let me read this real quick. This is the book of Ecclesiasticus, also known as Sirach, chapter 25, verse 13. It's like in chapter 25, verse 19, and it reads this: all wickedness is but little to the wickedness of a woman. Let the portion of a sinner fall upon her. All wickedness is but little to the wickedness of a woman. Let the portion of a sinner fall upon her. Because you got to figure, if Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai did not bring judgment upon, both of these parties, man, the man and the woman, and mainly, these women, because, you had one that told the man that she was dealing with after she had sex with him, probably multiple times. And, we don't really know if she knew before or after. But even if she found out before she had sex with him, and he, basically put her to death by stabbing her, she should have stopped and told him before, maybe I just found out that I've obtained this disease. I just found out, such and such days ago. I didn't know before. But, we don't know. We don't know if that was the case. But let's say it wasn't, and she just, had a guilty conscience, and she finally told him. Then, that is, a judgment, man, from Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, because there's no telling if these women would, not judge to keep on spreading this disease to other men. Okay, and then in the first video, you had the dude, run up on the woman, his ex-wife, run up on her after she got off her job. And I guess he must have found out after he went to the hospital or something like that. He must have got sick or something, whatever the case may be. We don't know. Just, giving a little, maybe a prediction. Let's say that. So maybe he got sick and found out and got tested and found out he had it. And maybe, just maybe, she might have been the only one he was dealing with. Okay, and so maybe he made her confess in the car and then, he shot her. Okay, so that just lets you know, man. Again, Sirach 25, verse 19, all wickedness. Okay, you can't put nothing past these women. Okay, you can't put nothing past these women, man, because they believe and they feel what they do. There's nothing wrong with it. It's not wicked. It's not hateful. It's not unrighteous. They feel that everything they do is just. Sirach 25, verse 19, all wickedness is but little to the wickedness of a woman. Let the portion of a sinner fall upon her. And that's what happened, man. Judgment, man. Okay, you wanted to transgress, so you got judged, man. You wanted to, be promiscuous. You wanted to lay down with every man, not use protection. You wanted to be an harlot. Well, these are the judgments that come with being a harlot, man. Okay, and it also says in the book of the Levitical law, because every Israelite man is going to be a priest in the new kingdom to come. Okay, so it also says, if your daughter's a harlot, you're supposed to burn her ass with fire, man. Okay, and this is not just aimed mainly towards the woman. It's also aimed to the men. Let me read this real quick. Okay, because again, man, you're not supposed to be just desiring, which is in the scriptures. You're not supposed to be just looking at a woman and desiring her for just pleasure, man. Okay, our women are more than that, man. Okay, maybe a heathen, which is a concubine, okay? But this is the book of 1 Esdras, chapter 4, verse 27, and it reads this: many also, okay, who is that many? It's talking about men. Many also have perished. And you saw two men that have perished, okay, that are going to die slow from this critical disease that eats at your liver, okay, your immune system, okay, Salakia, not your liver, your kidneys, Salakia, okay, because I knew a person that I grew up with that contracted this disease from her husband and found out later on down the line, just to make a long story short, and then they had a baby and everything, but the baby didn't have the disease when it was born. And, from a long story short, she finally left him after like 25 years. And, the man that gave it to her, he died from a heart attack at work. And then the young lady lived for about 4 or 5 more years. And, she felt some type of way she didn't have it. And then she passed away. Okay. 1 Esdras chapter 4, verse 27. Many also have perished, have erred, and sinned for women, man. And you're seeing a lot of men perishing, man. And this is just one avenue, one concept of men perishing, man. Not being smart, being stupid. Okay? And really, if honestly, to be truthful and sincere with you, man, if you're really dealing with these women and you really want to have a exclusive relationship, as they say, but as we know is marriage, you both should be going to go get tested before any talk. And to be honest with you, man, it may sound cruel and hateful and you really don't trust them, but I don't even think you should be taking the condom off, man. That's just me personally, man, even if you are in an exclusive relationship, man. Okay, because ain't no telling, man. Real talk. We dealing with, you don't know, matter of fact, man, because, as we say and as we see, it doesn't matter how big your rod is, how good you look, what you have, what you can do for her. If your woman sees something that, tickles her fancy or something that she likes or she's attracted to, she'll find a way to commit adultery, man. Point blank period, man. This is Babylon, man. Our women are not going to be fully ours until this place is destroyed, until the kingdom is set up, man. Until, everybody is transformed in their minds with the law, statutes, and commandments and those new bodies. That's when our women are going to be completely ours, man. But right now, man, we got our backs against the wall, man. Okay? And that's why we also must deal with our women. We must also deal with our women with this knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. This is the book of Ecclesiastic and Sirach, chapter 26, verse 12. She will open her mouth. Okay? Because again, man, you have a lot of these women that, what do? They slob, that guap 3,000, as they say, And if you ever come across a woman that says she doesn't do that she doesn't do that, she just don't see you liking that way to do it to you. Okay? She will open her mouth as a thirsty traveler when he hath found a fountain and drink of every water near her. Okay? Every man's DNA, every man's seeds, By every hedge will she sit down and open her quiver against every arrow. So whatever man attracts her that she sees, that she likes, the thuggish, ruggish bone type dude, he ain't got nothing going on for himself. The Chad and the Tyrones that treat women like, BS and out here running the streets, they fake Tupacs, but they got that mentality to give them women no attention and everything else. Just the complete opposite. Treat them like trash and all this other stuff. That's what these women are attracted to. They're attracted to being treated like shit, man. Okay, point blank period. Being treated like shit. Okay, let's say that. Let's get straight to the point. Let's close out here because the point is made. This is the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 7, verse 26, and it reads this. And I find more bitter than death the woman whose heart is snares and nets. And as you just saw in these two news clips, these women put these men into snares and nets, man. And I've heard, I've actually known women today in my age, in my area, that I know personally right now. One has herpes, You know, in my area, I want to say genital herpes, you know, in the reproductive organ area, you know, on her quiver. And I've heard her literally say out of her own mouth, because I think she has about 3 or 4 baby fathers. I've literally heard this woman say out of her own mouth, well, since I have it, I'm going to give it to all my baby fathers. You know, and I mind you, none of her baby fathers gave her a disease. It's a dude outside that she was messing with that gave her that disease. But since she, you know, got the shit into the stick, she felt the need that she wanted to give it to her baby father. So, you know, I don't know, man. That's just wicked, man. A snare in the net, man. And as you see, man, you know, Jake don't want to think correctly, man. Let me read this from the top. Ecclesiastes chapter 7, verse 26. And I find more bitter than death the woman whose heart is snares and nets, and her hands as bands, who pleaseth Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai, shall escape from her. But the sinner shall be taken by her. And that's what you saw. You saw 2 sinners taken by 2 promiscuous, nasty women, man. And again, we must be balanced in everything that we do. So I'm not going to say that the woman in the second video that she, you know, maybe she didn't know, maybe she did. I don't know. I'm not too sure. We can only go by what we're being told. Okay? But either way, again, when you're being exclusive in this world, in actual reality, when you make a woman your wife in this day and age, in this queendom, in this rulership, you should go get tested, man. And me personally, you know, our women are not going to be ours fully into the kingdom. Me personally, I mean, every brother might, you know, thinks different and goes about it differently. But I think regardless, you still should be using those condoms, man. Okay, and especially, I mean, maybe, you know, later on down the line, you might build trust and be able to trust one another. But, you know, that's between you and your woman. But especially, I say, if your woman is in the world, man, and she, you know, if she's well to, you know, pleased to be with you, that's cool. But if she, you know, is despised that you in this truth and really hates that you go out and teach and preach and everything else, and maybe you want to think about just keep on wrapping it up, man. You know, because you never know, man. Okay. But, man, Lord willing, I hope and I pray that this is edifying and uplifting and a warning to the true, sincere Aki and Akwaf, and to be thankful, man. You know, the Lord didn't put you in this situation. So with that, I'm just going to say, Shalom.
Once you were out of the car, they asked you, what happened? Why is she bleeding? Allegedly, you replied, I shot the because she gave me HIV.
The judge reads Anton Josie, the police